Welcome back to the Sports Show with Woody and Les and everyone else. Let's go to the phone right now. Let's go to Skype right now and bring in the Rockies baseball writer, Major League Baseball writer for the Denver Post, Patrick Saunders, who was in Kansas City for the first couple of games of the World Series. Patrick, in your estimation, are the Kansas City Royals, in fact, the best team in baseball?
In my mind, no question about it. I had a big Twitter war going last night with people after I helped cover the Broncos game, and some Mets apologists were out there saying, no, the Royals don't have a good starting rotation, blah, blah, blah. But if you look at the quality of the Royals, in my mind, all the different things they can do, and the fact that their resilience and they're being so relentless, I think the best team in Major League Baseball won the World Series this year.
Patrick, tell me if this is accurate or not, that if you put the ball in play, the other team is going to do bad things.
If the other team's the New York Mets,
yeah,
evidently.
exactly. I was going to say, if you got Lucas Duda at third and an injured right Lucas Duda at first and injured right at third, yeah, bad things are going to happen. You hit the ball anywhere to the Royals, and they're gonna make it an out. So there's the difference.
Yeah, and the Mets. Somebody told me before the series went back to New York, they said, well, you know, if the Mets, because they're going to get good pitching, if they can just improve their defense, they're suddenly going to improve their defense. It's one of the lousiest defenses in baseball. But you know, that's trying to take it around to Coors Field. That if you put I'm going to make this real short, but if you put somebody like Rosario at first base, stuff like that's going to happen. That's been my point all along, is that the Rockies have had good defense. They got good defense at third and second base, Gold Glove finalist. Even with Reyes, they had a pretty good defensive shortstop. He was a lot better than early in his career, but you know, they got to be concerned about defense at first base. The defense in the outfield was generally good. That the Rockies do have that kind of defense, it seems to me.
Oh, I agree with you. I don't think outside of first base, which is still an open book, I mean, Ben Paulson is serviceable, certainly. I think the Rockies' defense is terrific. The Rockies' offense is pretty darn good, too. But, you know, guys, we're going to be rehashing the same thing for a decade now. It all comes down to pitching with the Rockies. But you get back to this World Series and the entire playoffs. You know, when I was in Kansas City for the first two games and it was cold and windy and damp, the athleticism that the Royals showed compared to the Mets, you know, even for me, and I'm not a baseball scout or anything, you could see it. It was plain to see. And there was also a feeling from talking to both teams, the Royals, in my mind, guys, they thought this was their destiny. After last year, I mean, for a mid-market team with $117 million payroll, the Royals thought this was theirs, and they were going to get it no matter what. The Mets, in my estimation, were kind of a little bit surprised they were there. I really got that feeling. Even when I was talking to Syndergaard and Harvey and some of their big stud pitchers, they almost seemed like they were kind of happy to be there. The Royals, not so much. The Royals were on a mission, and I think it showed.
Hey, for both you guys, should Matt Harvey been allowed to go out and pitch the ninth inning last night? Did Terry Collins do the right thing?
I think he did the right thing by allowing him to go back out. However, after he walked the first guy,
I like where you're going with this.
That should have been it right then.
I'm with you.
Putting him out there, you know, and if he strikes that guy out, and I think it would have been his 10th strikeout of the game, then you're doing. But he shows the weakness. You go to Familia. Of course, he didn't have a very good postseason necessarily. But I didn't blame him for going one batter. But to let the next guy come up and hit a double, and essentially at that point it was like, uh-oh, wheels are coming off. So I think Collins took the blame a little bit for that too.
Well, but shouldn't Collins take the blame for bringing in a closer in 3 consecutive games when he hadn't done it all year long, and in one of those 3 games he is pitching 2 innings? I mean,
yeah, what do you make a point? But the problem is, who else are the Mets going to turn to? Their bullpen was, in my mind, was the weak link, and although Familia didn't perform that well, I'm not sure who else Collins was going to turn to, because I'm not sure I would have trusted any of the other guys. It's not like the Royals, who had 3-4 guys that they could turn to in the pinch and figure they could close it out and win the game for them.
Yeah.
When you go to buy a car, what do you really want? You probably want a lot of cars to choose from. And you want the dealership's best price. Not some starting price or target price, the best price. And you want it immediately, not after hours of negotiating. And you want a salesperson who doesn't get paid more if you spend more. Because, well, you don't want to spend more. Well, you're in luck. John Elway wants all of those things too. Better yet, John Elway wants you to have all of those things too. Come see us or click on johnelwaychevrolet.com.